Hello and welcome to the Southern Business Network, East Alabama's premier show for small businesses and entrepreneurs, civic and social organizations that represent our communities. And I'm speaking none other than the areas of Fort Mitchell, Seal, Ladonia, and of course our beloved Phoenix City, Alabama. I'm your host, Eric Fowler, and I've got a very special guest in here with me today. We've got the Associate Executive of the Phoenix City Board of Realtors, Mr. Chris Lammons. Chris, welcome to the Southern Business Network.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Chris, for our listening audience, or our viewing audience, I should say, for those who don't know what it is that you do and the post that you hold and the importance of it, tell us a little bit about what your background is and the post, in essence, that you representing the Phoenix City Board of Realtors.
Sure. As the association executive, I work for a board of directors who is elected by realtor members, local realtor members in the community. And the way the realtor organization is structured, there's a National Association of Realtors, Alabama Association of Realtors, and a Phoenix City Board of Realtors. And of course, we're a member of the state and national. Okay. We also, locally, the Phoenix City Board of Realtors owns an MLS, which is a multiple listing service, which anybody that lists their house with one of our members, internally, I administrate the system that syndicates that to somewhere between 700 and 900 websites. You've heard of the Zillows, the realtor.coms, Trulia, all that kind of good stuff. If you list with one of our member agents or realtors, it syndicates all over the world.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So as it relates to, I guess, the importance of having this post or even having a board of realtors, why is that so significant within our communities?
It's significant in that you can be a licensed real estate agent in Alabama but not be a realtor. As a realtor and joining the board of realtors, you sign on to a higher standard of ethics. You have to abide by the code of ethics of the National Association of Realtors. And of course, if there's any complaints, ethical issues with any realtor member, doesn't even have to be one of our members, just a realtor member in the area. If they're a realtor member, they are subject at any level. They are subject to the code of ethics, and we administrate a system to hold every member to that standard, that higher standard.
So there's in essence a huge weight of accountability, if you will, that's somewhat placed on that realtor based on their level of membership. Correct.
Yeah, agents, of course, all agents have to abide by real estate law in Alabama, but by becoming a realtor, you sign on, and essentially you're telling everybody that ethically I'm a step above non-realtor members.
I see.
Yeah.
So tell me, obviously asking about realtors, you yourself have been in real estate?
I have not.
Really?
I have not.
Okay.
As an association executive, when they went out and looked to hire someone, they did not want a realtor or somebody in the real estate industry because I administer an arbitration process and ethics proceedings against members if there's anything brought forward. Any kind of monetary disputes between realtor members or MLS members, I have to administer. So if it's, they felt like it would be a conflict of interest to hire someone that was previously in the business and worked in the area.
Well, that's pretty interesting because that's really out of the box kind of concept, I think, because if you've not necessarily been in the industry per se, so there's obviously got to be a level of intuition and subject matter expertise that you bring to the table. So let's talk a little bit about what your background is.
My background essentially is in operations and business development, with some sales mixed in there too. I graduated from Smith Station High School in 1989. Went into the Naval Reserves right after that, went to college on the GI Bill. Graduated from Troy University in 1996.
Go Trojans.
Go Trojans, I like it. In '96, went to work at Jenkins Brick Company for 5 years in sales and operations. From there, went into the road construction business and was a highway contractor for 13 years. Moved all over the Southeast and worked all over the Southeast. And then got a family, settled down, and needed a job to where I wasn't gone all the time, 5 and 6 days a week.
Gotcha.
That's what led me into the real estate industry. It sort of happenstance by talking to some people and networking out. Found out that the position was open and applied for it, and found out that they were looking for somebody more in operations rather than real estate. So that's my background and how I sort of came into the position.
Gotcha. And how long have you served in this capacity?
Almost 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any challenges that kind of come to mind in the 3 years that you've been in place?
Yeah, there was one of the biggest challenges was figuring out exactly what we do and what we're supposed to be doing. Okay. So many times organizations get in sort of a rut where they think they know the direction that they're supposed to be going, but might have veered off a little bit. So just trying to figure out, hey, is the direction we're taking, is that the proper path, or should we take a different path? And exploring that through the National Association with their help, the State Association, and fellow AEs, association executives within the state of Alabama, getting their guidance and leadership, and sort of kind of blazing a trail. And in doing that, we've become, and I say we, the Phoenix City Board of Realtors as an organization, have really stepped it up as far as community involvement, being advocates in the community, and being a voice for real estate in the community.
That's huge. I think when we look at the aspect of new families coming into our area, how important it is that our residential communities, that we have a good standard to go by in terms of representing that level within our community. So as we talk about community, give me some ideas to what you all have been involved in, and I guess why an interested person or someone who is seeking to get into real estate, why they should want to seek membership, first of all, with the organization.
First of all, any agent out there that's not a member wants to be a realtor member. It's just the label and the brand of being a realtor, and knowing that a realtor is held to a higher standard than a normal agent would be the top selling point.
Certainly.
In addition to that, locally, the Phoenix City Board of Realtors, we offer a free continuing education for our members, which we feel like that makes our members more marketable to families and communities. You know, a family moving into town, for instance, a military family might be moving from Alaska or Washington State into this area. They're putting a lot of trust into a local person.
Absolutely.
And that person really should be a realtor, knowing that they're held to a higher standard. In doing this job, I've gotten to learn a lot about real estate, and I personally use a realtor just because I know they're going to walk through the process and be my advocate in any transaction.
Certainly. So continuing the conversation as it relates to community, we spoke earlier about your ties to the chamber.
Right.
Why is it so important, first of all, that there be that level of relationship? We've already understanding the concept in mind about the brand. And we speak about brand and how that connects with our chamber. Kind of to give us a little insight as to what that connection is all about.
Sure. One of the latest requirements in for the National Association of Realtors for local associations is to have some sort of a partnership with the local chamber. Of course, before that happened, we had a partnership with the chamber anyway, just because we feel like it's a healthy relationship, and we can be the voice of real estate at the Chamber of Commerce. We're representing a whole industry at the chamber level. And of course, being the voice of real estate on the chamber is a pretty big deal. Not to mention the advantages of networking with chamber members. We all kind of cross paths at some point, and just not just as much as being a member of the chamber, but supporting the chamber and their mission of supporting local businesses and supporting growth and economic development. That's good for everybody, it's good for real estate agents who are independent contractors, realtors who, of course, are licensed agents. It's just good for our membership, good for the chamber, and we feel like we bring a lot to the table with community participation. We hold a lot of chamber events, Biscuits and Business, at our location at no charge.
Awesome.
For the chamber, to help the chamber, and at the same time to give our membership a chance to network with other chamber members and market their services and kind of get the word out as to what we're doing. Different chamber members looking for properties, looking to sell, looking to buy, looking to move, looking to trade, all that kind of stuff. A lot of good information and networking goes on at chamber events.
Do you all currently have a publication that speaks to, for example, you go in every grocery store these days and you see the apartment finders within a certain location, you see the home for sale publications, or a home for owner, or for sale by owner publications. Is that something that the Board of Realtors is invested in, or any kind of publication that deals with that?
Not print ads, but through our MLS, of course, the multiple listing service, we syndicate out the listings. Now all of it's done electronically. Some of the home books will buy a back page ad and do some advertisement there, but most of the publications you see are produced by our members, that are member companies, but might produce their own books.
I see.
And place those out in supermarkets or high traffic areas. But all the stuff we do as a board of realtors is electronic these days. We do have a website that people could search for property.
Okay. Please tell our viewership what that website is.
Yeah, sure. It is www.usamls.net/Phoenix City.
Okay.
So, or you can Google Phoenix City Board of Realtors and it'll come up.
Exactly.
So,
that might be the easier.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a mouthful. I have to I have to keep it in front of me to make sure I get it right. But
Absolutely.
yeah, just Google Phoenix City Board of Realtors. You can search there. You can search our members. You can search our affiliate members, people who are associated with us.
Okay.
We have member service partners, everybody from pest control companies to attorneys, closing attorneys, to disaster recovery companies.
Any builders to that?
There are as a group, the Phoenix City Home Builders Association are members.
Okay.
So yes, essentially all the local builders are members, but as an organization, they've joined, and we're members over there too as affiliates.
I see.
Yes.
So you've got that cross-referencing going on as it relates to the whole package deal.
And yes, that's huge because we've got members who are developers. Some of our members are builders too. So there's a lot of crossover in real estate and building, of course. And some of their members, we share affiliate members. So it just makes sense for us to be members of each other's organizations and participate. We have a lot of information exchange when we attend each other's meetings.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, as you mentioned, for someone who is who's very new to the community, if they were looking to, for example, be approached or to approach someone within the community that says, for instance, a newcomers or organization, would you recommend that they first come to the Board of Realtors to get insight and information on what the residential community is like? Because when I envision this, I'm envisioning it tying into everything that our communities offer, the schools in which you would recommend a newcomer to go to, from elementary to high school, those sorts of things.
Right.
Is all of that somewhat, I guess, associated with what you do?
It is. It is. We're not going to necessarily, in my office, we're not going to necessarily recommend a certain school or district. However, we've got information from all the schools that would like to provide information in our office for a newcomer. We've got, and also at our luncheons, we have different school systems do presentations to our membership, so they'll be educated on how to explain all that to a newcomer to the area. We've got a Russell County Extension Service paperwork in our office for people to look at, school system stuff, United Way stuff. So a myriad of different community type organizations and information that would help. We've given out 911 911 maps of the area to people that are just moving into town that the Chamber of Commerce might be out of maps one day. They'll send them over to us, and vice versa. If we're out of maps, we'll hook them up with the Chamber of Commerce. So yeah, if we don't have the answers or can't provide them with the information, we'll find somebody that can. So yes, we do that. A newcomer to the area walks in our office, and we're not going to recommend one certain realtor.
Sure.
I'll direct them to our website and say, pick one. If they're realtors, and I have the conversation with them, they're held to a higher standard, use a realtor. But all of ours are good. If not, they wouldn't be members.
Absolutely.
Because we do police our own.
That's good. And that's a good word that you use in terms of, because I think it's so important in business, especially in the residential community, and all of the harsh stories that we hear about home ownership. I guess for an individual who goes out on their own thinking that they can bypass the system that in essence is set up to benefit them to a certain degree, and sometimes they're not as educated as it relates to home ownership or being able to find the right realtor to assist them in that process. So it's good that you have an organization that polices and sets the bar higher in some respects to the level of standard that you hold your memberships to, or your members to. So as we speak about members, is there a membership fee involved to be a part of the association?
Yes, there is. We'll start out by member service partners and affiliates. If it's a business that's non-real estate, that does not buy and sell real estate, such as a mortgage company, pest control, like we mentioned before, really anybody in the community. The housing touches every facet of our community. So really any company could join, and that's $150 a year.
$150 a year?
A year.
Oh my.
And that includes free lunch, 10 luncheons a year, as well as a number of different member service partner events we have that are set up specifically to network. Not just realtors and realtors networking, but realtors and affiliates and members. They're all marketing services to each other. We had over 400 people attend our member service partner event at Stars and Strikes in Columbus earlier this year.
400.
So 400.
That's phenomenal.
Of course, that's family members also included. But yeah, 400 people. So that's one of the largest gatherings of people in this area.
Absolutely. And for a mere $150, if you divide that up over the course of 12 months, that's, I don't know if my Alabama math is working today, but that's a pretty good standard fee in terms of the services that you offer.
It is. It essentially just covers the lunch for 10 months.
Sure.
And then you get so much more out of that. In addition to that, our local membership dues for realtors are $124.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and that's a year.
Yeah.
And then there are some state and national dues also. But I believe this year it changes each year, but I think we're at $485 once you pay state, national, and local.
Correct.
It gets complicated if you're a member of Columbus and a member of our organization. You don't have to pay all that, but the max you would pay would be $485 a year. Essentially, the free continuing education pays for your dues each year.
I see.
Not to mention all the other benefits.
So are you all primarily working all areas on this side of the river? Salem, Ladonia, Fort Mitchell?
Correct. Yeah, great question.
Okay.
Our MLS, the multiple listing service, even though we're called the Phoenix City Board of Realtors, it's sort of a misnomer. Yes, we are in Phoenix City, and yes, our office is here. We cover Phoenix City, but we cover all of Russell County, Hatchetchubby, Hurtsboro, Fort Mitchell, of course, Phoenix City, Lee County, Russell County, Lee County, parts of Chambers County, parts of Macon County, and parts of Barber County.
Wow.
So it's a really big East Alabama area that we cover.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's very huge. And I think it's necessary for any realtor out there, if you're not a part of this wonderful organization, I think it's necessary that you get in contact with Chris as quickly as possible, be able to participate in all the functions and events that they offer. And from a branding approach alone, and as you stated, the continuing education that's being offered, that's powerful within itself based on the level of membership fee that's being offered. I think I might essentially want to get involved and gain membership, Chris, in all honesty, because of the networking that's involved. And as you stated, housing does play a very significant part in our community, and it touches on every facet.
Right.
So I think that within itself is a powerful attribute to what you all are doing over at the Phoenix City Board of Realtors. And to know that you also spread, you know, as far as Russell Lee counties are concerned, and even further, that's powerful within itself. Yes. Chris, is there anything else that you want to let our viewership know about what you all are doing, some of the powerful things you've got going on?
Sure. Just really quick, we have 500 MLS members, about 175 realtor members, and about 50 member companies that are member service partners and affiliates. And in the community, every year we host a Purple Ribbon poker run for the Crisis Center.
Okay.
We just had a fundraiser for the Child Advocacy Center and bought cabinets for them at their location. Coming up, our biggest fundraiser, and keep an ear out for it. It'll be in the local newspaper and all over. But Operation Make Christmas Happen. Oh. We raised between $10,000 and $15,000 worth of donations and/or gifts, and supported 17 local families for
wonderful.
Christmas. The Children and Family Connection, the Crisis Center, and the Child Advocacy Center all vetted the families for us, for lack of a better term, and found families that are really in need. And we provided everything from clothing to food to toys for the children and the parents here locally. So we do a lot in the community. We have something going on every month. You can visit our Facebook page, Twitter, or LinkedIn and find out all of our upcoming events and community fundraisers.
So you're taking advantage of all the social media platforms, so which means that you're relevant in the community, because you're obviously, as you stated, the face. And what better way to be the face of your realtors than to take advantage of the services that social media provides.
That's right.
I think that's a powerful, powerful concept. And it's one that we here at the Southern Business Network applaud you for, Chris. Chris, it has definitely been a pleasure having you on the Southern Business Network. Please don't be a stranger. We'll ask you to come back again.
That's great.
And we'll definitely want to participate with the events that you have going on throughout the year. And if you would love to have your business, your civic or social organization advertised right here with the Southern Business Network, please get in contact with me, Eric Fowler, as your host. You can reach me by my email of fowler_enterprises@yahoo.com, or call me personally at 706-718-9752. East Alabama's premier show for your small businesses and entrepreneurs, civic and social organizations, right here on the Southern Business Network.